Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter. I love talking about movies, comic books, superheroes, and horror movies. And on Saturday, I did a double feature of The Watchers and In a Violent Nature. Today, I will be talking about The Watchers. Stay tuned for the In a Violent Nature review coming on my channel very shortly. And this is actually my second time filming this because I filmed it Saturday night, really late, pretty much Sunday morning. And unfortunately the footage just looks and sounds really bad. So I'm going to do my best to just do another review of it. Have you guys seen The Watchers? If so, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to talk about this. And enjoy the rest of the video. The Watchers is directed by Ishana Night, and she is the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan, who has directed movies such as Glass, Split, Unbreakable, The Sixth Sense, Signs. He's a very famous director. I really love some of his movies like Unbreakable and Split, and I really do not like some of his movies like Glass and Old, but he has made some classics, no doubt. And so I was really looking forward to this movie, especially since his daughter, Ishana, again, wrote and directed it. It's based on a novel by A.M. Shine, and it stars Dakota Fanning and Georgina Campbell. It has cinematography by Eli Aronson. And getting right into my positives, I went in completely blind, which I enjoyed. I really try and do that for most movies, especially horror movies now, just because so many horror movies especially give everything away in the trailers. So I went in wanting to know as little as possible, and I enjoyed the first little bit of setup. I think the core concept is very interesting. All I knew was that it's 4 people in a building in the woods. I didn't know anything else. I did enjoy that once you get to the forest, it is eerie, it is kind of creepy. Past the opening scene. The opening scene is in the forest, and I did like that scene. And I enjoyed how the film kind of makes you wait for answers. It slowly drip feeds you information, and I do love movies like that, so you can kind of speculate on what it might be. You know, you can be like, oh my gosh, what kind of creature is it? Is it a creature? Is it something like The Village that her dad made? And so it was fun to speculate and kind of wonder what could happen in this movie. And I think that the set decoration and the design of everything within the forest and within they call it the coop, it's this glass room, looked pretty good. It's very cool to see, and it just stood out from the rest of the environment. There's some really interesting cinematography as well, especially with shots and lighting of these tunnels or pits called the burrows. I liked the shots and lighting of those, and I think that there are strokes and moments of really interesting and engaging filmmaking in here that unfortunately is just overshadowed by one of the worst scripts I have seen in a long time. Now, funny enough, I posted my review on TikTok and was like, yeah, I just didn't really care for it, and this girl's like, stop ruining original stuff. And I was like, so I don't know if you know this girl, but this is based on a novel. It's not original. It's an adaptation. So, if you want to say it's not a sequel or an IP, you can say that, but it's definitely not original. It is an adaptation of that novel. Never read the novel. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Looping back to the review, I think that the design of the creatures or of the forest, what could be in the forest, does end up looking really creepy before it is revealed in the light. I think when Ishana keeps them in the dark and just doesn't show the detail, the form of them is very unnerving, the noises they make is unnerving, and just what is out there is creepy. There are some cool sequences with a video camera that they get. There's some interesting ideas involving paranoia that I think could really work here, but again, just aren't expanded on here. So going into the mixed, I think that this is just a very muddled film. I think that maybe a more seasoned director could have roped the ideas together, kind of just maybe streamlined the film a little bit better. Unfortunately, she also did write this and adapt it from a novel, so it just doesn't really flow very well. The pacing is awkward. The script just doesn't let the performers really perform. I know Georgina Campbell can really perform. She's so good in Barbarian, and here she just doesn't get really anything to do. Same with Dakota Fanning. She's just very wooden in this film, but I've seen movies where she's likable, she's fun. Just getting into my negatives, there's a lot of things that I could talk about with this film, but the thing that stands out the most, the thing I want to talk about the most, is the writing. Not only is the dialogue just really bad, very wooden, very stunted. There's a scene where Dakota Fanning puts on a wig and then looks at the parrot and is like, what? It's just something I do sometimes. You wouldn't like the real me. If you got to know me, you wouldn't like me. And then there's another scene later where she's like, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. And it's just like, I know there's something in this movie that's not, it's good, but it's just not able to kind of get there, not able to dig it out correctly. Not only is the dialogue really bad, but the story, the core story and plot, how it evolves is just really bad. The pacing as well is just feels so disjointed and stunted. Like the film ends and then there's another 20 minutes and it has another ending, and it just kind of ends on like this really stupid and lame thing that's like so obvious. You don't need to like keep expanding, but of course the script and the film treats the audience like they're babies, and so you have to have every little thing explained to you because you're dumb and you don't know any better. And I really don't mean to be overly mean or overly aggressive about this film. It just felt like maybe there was things that I liked, things that I think could have really worked, and it just doesn't follow through. There's a lot of things here that just feel so convenient, like just character decisions that are made for the plot, and then if you really sit down and think about it, like, okay, so these characters, if they had done this one thing or like looked at this one thing, they could have found something that was very beneficial to them months earlier, but they didn't. And some people have been there for a long time, and they never did. Without spoiling it, there's a big reveal at the end that just falls apart if you think about it for more than 5 seconds. Like, it's so obvious because the film kind of like very blatantly winks at you throughout the runtime that, hey, this idea could be set up later on, but, you know, here's a few scenes of it. Oh no, we forgot about it. In the end of the film, characters need characters for other things, and it's like, you didn't really need them at all. Characters didn't need other characters because, like, if that character knew about it already, it's like, how come this didn't happen? It's so confusing, and I'm trying not to spoil it, but the reveal just didn't work. If you think about it for more than a second, it really just falls apart with any logical thinking, unfortunately. And so whether the blame goes on A.M. Shine or on Ishana Shyamalan, it just didn't really work at all for me. And so unfortunately, I left the film feeling very frustrated, very, very underwhelmed. I was actually looking forward to this movie, and I left extremely disappointed and extremely frustrated. So overall, I really did not like The Watchers. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to score it a 3, which gives it the title of Cowabummer Dude. Like, it just did not work out for me whatsoever, unfortunately, which sucks because I was looking forward to it. Well, guys, that's it for my Watchers review. Keep an eye out for In a Violent Nature, and I just reviewed Bad Boys Ride or Die, so please feel free to check those out, and as always, have a great rest of your day.